Hiya.
Hello, everyone. Okay.
Right, so we are live. So hiya again.
I'm gonna send the link over now. We're gonna try and have both open on YouTube and Twitch, which may be hard because sometimes they disconnect, but we're gonna try.
I was gonna say, is this the first active champion we've had on? But it's not, is it? Because we had Matt on Marley, who's champ.
Yeah. So I've sent the link over to Sam. $18.12. How's it going?
There you go.
Hello, mate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
I've got you.
Okay, cool.
How's things, you alright?
Yeah, not bad. Sorry about the delay there.
Oh, no worries, mate.
Just glad to get the chance to talk to you.
Absolutely. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're all good, mate. So for those who might just tune in right this second, we are joined by Cage Warriors Flyweight champion, Sam Creasey. And it's an absolute honour to have you on, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. So we're already live, we're already recording, so we'll jump straight into it with you. So obviously you've just come back from France, nice and recent. How was your time away? Did you enjoy some well-deserved time away from training?
Yeah, took my daughter down to see my grandfather in the south of France, check on him, bit of family time and that. I promised her 4 days of me not training, so she made me stick to my word, and probably did me some good. You know?
Yeah,
nice. How hard is that? Is that one of the things you have, like one of the hardest things you have to do with fighting is balance basically family life and fighting life? As you say, that's one of the hardest things you have to do.
Yeah, it is very difficult. I think I get the balance right the majority of the time, but post fight is a nice time for my family because I can really just give them my everything and not have to be, my mind is elsewhere occasionally. I should be in the gym. I feel like that pretty much all the time anyway. I started out with just a few other guys in a gym, no coach. And that was a learning process, but it meant that the more I was in the gym, the better I was getting. So I never wanted to leave the place. And now to try to find that balance and somewhat take a step back and let my body recover a little bit it's really good for me, but it's very hard to do at the same time because I'm mentally switched on that I should be in the gym. I should be getting better, But my family have enjoyed it, so
yeah. Always good to see you win and perform as well for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Had a little delay there. So you're 2 weeks after your fight now, and you're your history maker. How are you feeling after that performance?
Feel good. I mean, it's kind of past now that initial. I don't know. You get that initial high after a fight. It's a drug, a chemical that's in your body that you cannot replicate with anything else. Where people are throwing, adulation at you, and just everybody wants to be your best friend for a few days, before it comes crashing down slowly. But I feel good. I've never had a fight where I don't really feel like I've been in a fight at all. So I was ready to go the next day.
Nice.
But I've allowed my body to have a little recovery now, and I'm raring to get back in the gym.
Yeah, nice.
So as we mentioned there, you are a history maker. You're the first person in Cage Warriors history to defend the flyweight title. Forever etched into Cage Warriors rich history. How does that make you feel? Is that something? Is that a big deal to you?
Yeah, I feel proud of the fact that I'm part of Cage Warriors history in that sense now. There's such a massive promotion worldwide, and there's so much prestige that goes alongside just fighting for Cage Warriors, let alone being a title holder, let alone being one who's making history as the first guy to defend the title. So yeah, I'm very proud of that fact.
Are you looking to defend it like multiple times before that call comes?
I'd love the call to come now.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm ready, and I feel like I don't think there's a flyweight on this planet who I couldn't compete against and beat on my day. But if the UFC comes calling, absolutely wonderful. If not, then I'm going to defend my title against whoever's next in line, and hopefully somebody very good.
Yeah.
You mentioned obviously UFC could be the one that make the call. Are you keeping your options open if say Bellator come along or one PFL? We've seen quite a few guys from the UK get the call up to PFL recently.
They're all options, obviously, but my heart is really set on the UFC. I've only ever looked at that place as being, where you go if you want to challenge the best in the world.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, especially in the flyweight division, you're not really looking anywhere else. One obviously has Mighty Mouse, and that'd be a great fight for me. I'd love to fight Mighty Mouse one day, but with the weight cutting rules over there, it changes things up a little bit as well and makes the division somewhat in a strange place. If you look at probably the size of Adrian Moraes before his fight with Demetrius Johnson, they don't even look anywhere near like the same weight. But yeah, my heart is set on the UFC. That's where I feel like I deserve to be. That's where I should be right now, and that's where I want to go and challenge for the world title there.
Can you remember your first memory of your first UFC fight?
What, the first one that I watched?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a somewhat funny one though. I don't think I even remember the fight as such, but I remember my brother trying to convince me that the UFC was like. So the only reason I got into MMA was because of my brother, and he was telling me, "You got to watch this. You got to watch this." And I'm like, "They can't do that. That you just stand back up and get away from that. Nothing like that would happen in real life." And then like he took me down to an MMA gym, and I got my ass handed to me, and okay, well, yeah, they can do that, and I want to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
Had you been involved in any other like combat sports before you tried MMA?
No. I played rugby like recreationally before that, which was literally probably a Wednesday night training session, Saturday play a game, and then probably get pissed in the club with the other boys. And then so my brother started martial arts when he was still at school, some kickboxing. He kind of found his way towards like what the UFC was, and then he really wanted to train at that. He basically made me go to the gym with him. We started training there, and I got my ass handed to me an awful lot before we've got to the point where we're at now. I can only thank him for bringing me into this sport, and he's somebody I really look up to, and he's my younger brother, and he's the better one of us both.
Does he still do MMA as well, or was it like as soon as you got into?
Yeah. He's I think he's 4-1 now as a pro. He's had some injuries on and off over the years. He's younger than me, so he's got time on his hands in that. And if if you knew anybody who had ever trained with him, they would tell you he's probably the biggest secret in UK MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you see him fight, like, people will know.
See, you build the intrigue for us here. We're gonna have to start following him and getting him on as well.
100%.
So to move forward a bit, then you put up a post following your win with a quote. Let me just try to get it right. Be more concerned about your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Is that something that you live your life by?
I try to. I really do. I fail often because I'm human.
Yeah.
I fail every day. I want to be a better person. I want to be a better human. I want to be a good person. And I fail daily, and I have to learn from that and be a better person. But yeah, I feel like it's those moments when, you know, you have a choice, possibly to do something that's going to probably feel good for your ego, you know, or for me anyway, personally, I can in the moment when I've won, I can only look at my opponent and kind of feel those same emotions. And it's heartbreaking because, you know, I've lost on the biggest stage as well. And, you know, I know how much it hurts. And I want them to know that there's no real will here. It's love. It's only love.
Yeah.
We're both fighting for the same thing. We're both fighting for the same thing, and we're both on a journey to get to the same place. You know, it's me who got my hand raised today, and you know, any other day of the week that could have well been you.
Yeah.
It's what I try to live my life by. Just trying to be a better person as much as I can.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That means.
So, Keaton, I'm just going to switch question 5 and 6 around here to sort of follow on with what Sam said there. So, with you saying that, I noticed you are very respectful towards your opponents, regardless of the result. Is that respect side of MMA, is that really important to you?
Yeah, it really is. Like, for me, it's a massive part of martial arts. It's a massive part of the sport, or it should be an even bigger part of the sport, you know, because despite everything that people on the outside think a fight is, it's just me and you on the day, both testing ourselves to see who's going to be the better man today. You know, nothing more than that. All the words that come before it, all the showbiz part, I guess, all the build up and that doesn't really matter. You know, I want you to go home to be healthy, to go home safely to your family and to your loved ones. And I want the same for myself, obviously.
I think that's what makes MMA like so special, is that respect side of it, and what separates it from other sports is how respectful the athletes are after the fight. You know, you have just went to war or whatever it is, and you know, you embrace after it and speak to each other. You know, that's the kind of stuff that the world needs. You know what I mean? It's that respect and, as you say, love and kindness and that.
That's it.
You find it hard to keep your emotions sort of level after a fight?
Yeah. to keep a check on everything, because like your attitude in those moments can change, you know, in a second. You know, you go from 1 minute being down on your knees about to lose the fight, and then come back and win, and that is going to involve a lot of emotions coming out of you at the same time. And controlling the ego is a really, really important part of like the fight game for me, because it's very easy to get caught up in that that sense of almost feeling like you're superhuman at times, especially straight after a victory. You're going to feel on top of the world, absolutely. But there's a way to conduct yourself whilst you're in that moment, because there are people watching. You're a role model, yeah. There are kids out there who are watching, looking up to you, looking for you for the way they should conduct themselves. Yeah, can you inspire them with, good character on the biggest stage in the world? Can you show them how a role model should act? And for me, that's really important.
Yeah.
What do you implement to try keep them emotions level? Because I think that's something that could apply to your life anyway. Sometimes in life your emotions can take control there. What sort of advice do you have to people to try and keep their emotions sort of in check and be level headed, I guess?
Often it is just don't react. Your first instinct is often the wrong one. All right, it's probably a defensive for a lot of people. I spend a lot of time having conversations with people outside of the gym where they have a lot of issues in and around their life or situations, and it's always, this has happened. I go, okay, take a second. Don't react. If you react now, you're showing a big sign of weakness, okay? Take a second, take a breath, try and slow things down, and just look at the bigger picture here. Take a second. What is important and what is not? Yeah. And for me, like, it might be to jump around and scream and say I'm the best in the world in that moment, or more important for me is not to disrespect the man who's laying down in front of me, and to go and embrace him, and to let him know that, I do respect him, and I want him to get back to his feet and get home to his family and be safe.
Yeah.
With that in mind, there's something else I want to ask you. So everyone's obviously talking about Usyk and Joshua, and obviously sort of post-fight what Joshua did. From the eyes of a fighter, like, what's your opinions on that? Because I think everyone's saying like, oh, Joshua shouldn't have done it, he should have given Usyk his moment. But what's your opinions on it?
What he did is natural. It's so natural. It's so difficult for people to see because he has the image of a role model. He's been on the big stage for a long time. He's had cameras around him so much of his life. Everything he's done has taken a pause and taken a second before those words have come out of his mouth, before he's walked into a room. And what he did was perhaps wrong in some eyes, but then you don't know what's going through his head at the time when he's doing these things. So for me to judge him on that is very difficult, because I can't say when he perhaps threw those belts away, maybe he was trying to do that with some other, I don't know. He was doing it for another reason rather than to disrespect the belts, but you don't know what's going through his head. So I can critique him and I can say he shouldn't have done those things. But what probably should have happened is somebody should have taken a hold of him before that, got to take a step backstage, or just take a moment and say, just breathe. Just breathe. Don't forget where you are. You need to understand exactly where you are, because like I said, you're a role model. There's so many eyes on you in that moment. And now you've got to backtrack all of that. And not only that, all of these things that you've done with perhaps good intentions now look so terribly wrong in the eyes of the world and the media, and every comment on every page, you look everywhere, is only going to be looking for a way to disrespect what you've done when perhaps you've not done it in that manner.
Yeah. Appreciate that, mate. So To go on from that then, so you posted a video showing what your day is like in the build up to the fight. Do you think it's good for fans to see that side of things so they know it's not just all training and then fighting?
Yeah. I mean, that's something I actually have been looking to do a little bit more anyway. I'm gonna do a few more like a documentary style kind of thing, just covering what I go through daily, weekly, monthly, and see like everybody sees the moment of glory, but they don't see any of the build up, the weeks on end, getting up at silly o'clock, training your ass off again and again, even when you're feeling like shit some days and you don't want to get into the gym. Or for me, that's never really an issue, but maybe my body doesn't want to get into the gym. I think it's interesting for a lot of people because they see, they don't understand what a weight cut is really. Right? They don't understand what you put your body through in that small amount of time. And they don't see the diet leading up to that, the preparation leading up to that, the pressure that you put on yourself when you have a bad round in the gym, when you have a bad couple of days. Perhaps you lose some training partners to injuries, and suddenly that's even more pressure that you've got on yourself now. Go to a good training session where you're supposed to hit pads and be like at the top of your performance, and you're not there, or you don't feel there. These are the kind of things I feel like people should be able to see, and probably would like to see, because once it's out there, you have a conversation about it. I like to be quite honest with everybody I meet and show them how I train, show them what I'm doing in the gym. So I think it's interesting for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, as you mentioned, they still see the thrill. They don't really see the agony. I think when you see the agony, you can appreciate what you are doing more. The work you're putting in, the time you're putting in. Train, eat, recover, and it's I think people appreciate it more to be able to see that side of it.
Yeah.
So moving on slightly, then I believe you fight out of the Roger Creasey Academy in Buckinghamshire.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So can you just take a moment then to just highlight some of your coaches who help you throughout camps and some of your training partners?
So I have a base at RGA Bucks under Kev Capel. He's my jiu-jitsu instructor there, and a guy called Daniel Lewis as well. We've got a really, really good setup there. It's a very traditional jiu-jitsu style of school. But I've got my brother is there with me often, Tom Creasey. I've got a couple of young light guys as well, Max Mordente and George Caruana, who helped me with the MMA rounds. And then we've got some grapplers, no-gi style, guy called Aaron Cody. He's been really useful to me for camps. But then I'll also cross-train at a few different places. So I'm trying to get up in Birmingham when I can. It's been hard with the cost of fuel.
Yeah.
But I've been getting up to Birmingham as much as I can. There's Vaughan Lee, who's one of my coaches, like a guy who I went to maybe, I don't know, 8-9 years ago, I guess. Messaged him randomly when I was up in Birmingham with my wife, who was doing some work up there. Said, "Can I come and train with you?" So, okay. Went into the gym, checked I wasn't some fucking nutcase, and and then did some sparring. And after that, we've been back and forth since a long time, man. Some really good guys up there for me to train with. Jake Hadley, Aaron Coburn, loads of guys from Fearless, Renegades up there. So that's a really useful place for me to get to when I can. And then there's a BST over in Northampton, Danny Batten, Raymond Paul, really, really, really good knowledgeable coaches. Amazing gym, great great setup, and that's a very good spot for me to train as well. My brother trains out of there a little bit more than me. And then I've got my striking coach, Rich Miller. He's down in Leighton Buzzard, and we train out of a little shed in his garden. And that's pretty much where I do all my striking and that. And just put it together over time.
Nice. So we've noticed you seem to be quite an outdoorsy person. Do you think having that connection to like the natural world and being grounded plays into your approach of life and fighting?
I think it does help. After a fight, I don't need a great deal. I go straight back to the gym with less pressure on myself, and then I can help family on the allotment, to be out in the garden, helping plant stuff, helping dig. I end up digging most of the stuff, I guess. And I'm very lucky where we live. We live, in a massive forest area, and like there's so much beautiful nature just outside. It's great to just get out, get fresh air, and go and be at one with nature. I can go and climb some of the hills, and I do my exercise there, do my runs, my hill sprints and that, and then just sit and look. I don't need a lot more. I'm right where I need to be.
It's nice, that. It's nice. Appreciate the little things. Nice.
So yeah, obviously familiar with rematches. We've recently had, I hope I say this right, Vucenic and Hughes 2 announced. What are your thoughts on that one? How do you see that going now?
It's a great fight. I really think Jordan should have been in the UFC by now, to be quite honest. After everything he's done, and I see him getting his hand raised here, and I don't doubt Paul at all. His skills at top level, but I just feel like Jordan's constantly improving. You saw how quick that the transition was for his last fight to get that finish. And Paul's been injured. I know he's had time out injured before and that, and it's going to slow down your progress. Maybe he's been injured. He's had to get straight back into a camp, or get back to fitness, or get back into shape. It's very difficult to keep that improvement going. Whereas I've watched Jordan improving all the time, even when he has had his hand injury. He couldn't do anything with his hand for however long, but he was always within the gym, in that environment, looking, improving. And I feel this will be his victory, and this should be his step up into the UFC.
So what we're going to do now, we have a little segment at the end of our shows, just a little bit of fun. So it's just going to be some questions just to get to know you more personally outside of fighting.
Cool.
So to start off, what's your favourite film?
Probably The Last Samurai.
I would have thought you'd said something like Man on Fire, because his name's Creasey as well.
Yeah. I watched that before my last fight. Nice.
Well, probably his best film, in my opinion, but
yeah.
We'll get into that because sometimes that's divided with people.
We'll be all night.
Yeah.
What's your favourite TV show?
Ooh. Of all time or currently? Yeah. Of all time.
Whichever way you want to go.
I would say probably my favourite one of all time was The Shield. I don't know how many times I watched that through, but that had me gripped. I never stopped. More recently, it's probably Game of Thrones or The Witcher, something along those lines.
Yeah.
They're pretty got me hooked very quick.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to the newest one? Is that House of the Dragon or something?
Yeah.
I'm going to wait until I've got some time and then binge the whole lot.
Yeah. Is that what you are? Do you prefer binging rather than episode by episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't end up waiting.
Yeah.
Where's the next one?
What's going to happen? You know what I mean? So what's your favorite musician or band?
My favorite musician was Otis Redding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love his music, man.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, it's a great one. We don't hear many answers like that. It's always more recent artists.
Yeah.
So I love that answer. What's a random fact about yourself?
No,
I'm out of
we can hear you.
Oh, I missed that. That froze a bit.
There you
There we
are.
go. I think we got you back now.
What was the last question? Sorry.
What's a random fact about yourself?
Oh, okay. That's a random fact. Christ knows. I have a non-working right little finger. There you go.
A non-working right
Yeah.
little
Right
finger.
little finger.
Well, you look at it, and I make a fist.
All right.
It doesn't work. So then, if I push it, I can make a fist. It still doesn't work very well.
Is that what you have to do before you go in and fight? Is just push it against your head and then you're ready?
What? I'll get them to make a fist for me. There you go.
Coach, get me arm ready. Nice. I don't know if that's a hidden talent, but do you have any hidden talents?
I'm probably not, to be quite honest. I always like to think I'm a fantastic singer.
Go on.
And that is terribly wrong because I've heard myself sing back on a video, and I'm like, "Whoa, that's not what you sounded like in your head, man."
Yeah, you always sound different to yourself. Then when it's recorded, it comes out terrible.
That's it.
I've heard myself in the shower.
Yes.
You don't look like someone who has too many, but what's your go-to takeaway order?
Oh, I do, unfortunately, but
that's hard work you're putting in there.
If I had to pick, I'd go and get souvlaki.
Nice.
A real Greek souvlaki.
Nice.
I like it.
Well, what's the word? I say gyros, but it's not that, is it?
Yeah. Almost the same thing, right?
Gyros.
Yeah.
Gyros.
Yeah. Is that your usually go-to thing when you go for Greek food, is it?
Yeah. Every time.
Yeah.
Unbelievable Greek food. Or as you called it yesterday, Kieran, Greek Slovakia.
Yeah. So the next one is, who would play you in a movie of your life?
Let's say Denzel Washington, because he was a Creasey in that other film. So.
That's it.
Nice.
He's already done half of it, to be fair. So yeah.
Well, I thought you were gonna go someone like Keanu Reeves, because it's like John Wick and that, and samurai and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, he done that 47 Ronin as well, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's half there, isn't he? Last one then. So, if you could choose any superpower, what would you choose?
The ability to stop time.
Nice.
I probably thought about that far too much. That's why.
That was just quick.
Yeah, you've had that question before. Yeah. You knew the answer to that already.
Nice.
That's everything, mate. But look, really thank you for coming on and taking the time out to chat with us today. It's honestly been one of my favourite ones we've ever done. It's been brilliant talking to you.
Pleasure, mate.
Appreciate that, mate.
Can't wait to see you in action again. Hopefully it's speaking of, I don't think we didn't even ask that. Is the plan to get back out this year, or are you maybe in the new year?
Yeah, if I don't get a call from the UFC, I'll be out again this year, barring anything crazy happening. But I need to fight. I need to be active. I want to be back in the gym right away, getting prepared myself. So you'll see me again this year.
Are you aiming for a certain card? I know they're going to Manchester and they're going a few different places. Have you got any particular card in mind?
Got the Italy card, which I think will be a very interesting
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, that will be. I haven't really thought about it too much, like because I didn't take any damage in my last fight. I've pretty much just tapered off a little bit, and me getting back in the gym is very easy for me this time round.
Yeah.
So I'll be ready for whenever they can put me on any one of those cards, and I'll be ready to go.
Good stuff. Can't wait to see you again, mate.
Thank you, guys.
I say it's been an absolute pleasure, Sam. So thank you for taking the time out, and hope you enjoy your weekend.
Absolutely, and you guys.
Take it easy, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, that was Cage Warriors Flyweight champion Sam Creasey. Great chat there.
Yeah,
enjoyed
brilliant chat.
Very insightful person. Yeah, just it was very interesting chat.
Yeah.
Like obviously, I think every chat we have is always really good chat. Scott, I don't know. A lot of what he said kind of makes you think. I don't think we get that very as often as we maybe like to.
I sort of didn't want to stop like prompting him when he was getting into the more emotional stuff and that. So I was like, enjoyed that.
That was all good. We don't know who's next right now, to be honest. So we haven't got anything planned barring the live stream at the moment. But you follow us on socials. Unless your name's Chris Cyborg, you now don't follow us on anything. Well, you didn't anyway, but you blocked us. So Chris, no, we could have helped you clear. just because you've won the title in every promotion that you've been in doesn't mean you don't need the rub from Super Necessary. So you've missed out, Chris. What can I say?
There you go.
If you're wondering what I'm on about there, go and look at our Twitter, because for some reason we didn't decide to beef with Chris Cyborg. It wasn't even really beef, not undisrespectful, but said to Chris Cyborg. She just didn't like what we were saying and blocked us. So, but it genuinely wasn't disrespectful, and I kind of wish it was now, because then at least we would have had a reason to get blocked. There it is. Chris Cyborg knows this podcast exists. That's my positive I'm taking from it.
And that's as positive for the day.
Literally the only positive of the day is that. But anyway, like I said, everyone, thanks for tuning in. And we'll just keep an eye on our socials, and we'll let you know who's next, and who's going to be joining us again. So thanks, everyone.